Welcome back to the eSports Report, ladies and gentlemen. We got all three of us in the show today. Puckett, Mr. X, Benson.
All the people.
We got all the people.
We got all the people.
The people are here today.
All the people.
I saw Sundance walking around wondering what
we
the
should
pools
bring him.
were. Right?
Bring him in.
Oh, Sunny.
Yeah.
Who
Sunny,
wins Pool C?
Why in the actually, that probably looked a little bit weird. Let's not do that.
Sonny's going to be Clarity's Gaming's fourth this year.
Maybe. We should recap, of course, some of the pools that we have seen already. Pool A, just real brief for you guys watching at home. Optic Gaming, NXG Rapid, Vitality X, and Team Orbit. I think we can all assume OG and Orbit come out of that one. And, of course, Pool
Look out for the Italians.
The Italians.
In before power takes over.
You're crazy. Pool B, Denali Esports. We got Hyper Games, Clarity, and Prophecy as well. But now it's time to get over to pool number C.
Hyper Game Speeds Prof.
This one, you're crazy. This one is pretty interesting if you're a FaZe fan. You got FaZe Red, FaZe Germany, FaZe All-Stars.
That's Fab E.
Fab
E, as in
Whatever.
Fabulous Esports.
It says Fab Esport, actually.
No, it's Fabby.
Fab.
Actually, if you look at the logo, it says Fab Esport.
I think you're wrong.
Probably am. And Automatic Reload as well, the fourth team in that pool. We're happy to say we have Parasite joining us on the show as well. Chris, knowing that that's your pool, what are your immediate thoughts?
We got Fab, how are they called again?
Fabby.
Fab as in
Games.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabby Germany and Fabby All-Stars.
Well, I don't know much about these two teams, but I'm sure they have familiar faces that have competed at other champs because I've recognized the names. But I mean, I don't really know too much about them. The only threat really I see there is AR with Burns and Weeds in them.
Germany is...
Yes, Germany is kind of... They have Kiwi from Killerfish, Gun Elite from Killerfish, and then two new German players. And then All-Stars Chris is kind of the Farico All-Stars team. I believe Torres is still on there. I don't know.
Rush is there for his first year.
Well, that's
I'm
awesome.
so excited
I remember
to see
that Rush
Rush
guy. I
play
was
it,
friends
too.
with him, and he wasn't old enough to compete, but he was really good at Black Ops 2. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Rush is really good at Call of Duty. Like, I'm so glad that we actually get to see him at a Call of Duty World Championship because he's kind of been one of those players in Europe which gets really upset every year. It's like, oh, I can't play. I feel bad. You know, I just want to play at the World Championship. But he's talented, that's for sure. Honestly, this pool, I don't think it's going to be as easy as a lot of people think it will be.
I got Germany beating AR. I'm saying it now.
You have Germany beating AR.
the whole country of Germany.
Germany
That's pretty bold. I'm not
is
gonna
coming
lie.
out on top of AR.
Damn.
Killerfish always make a splash.
Kiwi
Calling out
is...
Burns.
Yeah, you just called out. I mean, one thing's for sure, Parasite, as we kind of discussed in that commercial break, is 1-1 at Call of Duty World Championships. Never lost at World Championship. So
undefeated
Whoa.
at Worlds.
you're undefeated at Worlds, man. Like
That's
that's
true.
I lost the series to Envy, but
I
I came back.
but-
They did have to
You're-
win out of losers.
the one World Championship you're at, you won. So I mean, we'll give you that. You should be able to cruise through that pool. I would.
I hope so. That's the plan.
I think the one thing that'll work in your favor here, Chris, is with Pat, known for pool play, kind of just coast through it. He's not going to be able to coast through this one, so you're going to get him warmed up for the rest of the weekend. Do you think having some better matches in pool play favor you guys a little bit?
Honestly, I'm not too worried about who we play or when we play them. I just kind of want to play the tournament. I'm super excited to compete, and at the end of the day, whoever we play, they're just names. They're just other virtual characters running around the map, and we're kind of more just focused on doing what we know how to do best and showing up to play at the best of our ability. Pat's been playing really, really well lately.
Yeah.
If anything, I've been the one struggling, but it is what it is. I feel like I'm a lot better player on land anyways.
Yeah, Chris, break down the team for us right now. We've seen a very strong FaZe Red squad. You guys looking against Optic Gaming. I remember thinking you guys were going to take that match, especially after the hardpoint dominance. S&D was really close. You went to round 11. And then since then, we've seen kind of the FaZe Red that struggled against Denial. They're in the losers bracket finals, and we've seen the FaZe Red that's looked really hot or really not online. How good is the team right now, 5 days away from the tournament?
I think our team is probably as good as it's going to get. We still have our little inconsistencies, but I mean, no excuses. I still tone that to online play with how spread we are and Austin, you know, being in school and stuff like that. It's just kind of really hard to balance and get good practice in because whether if we're hosting, we have players at disadvantage. If we give other teams host, then we're really at disadvantage. So it's kind of hard to get practice sometimes, but our communication's looking a lot better than it used to be. Our work ethic and chemistry is a lot better. Especially seeing more out of Pat, it's kind of a relief around this time.
Is there an in-game leader right now, someone taking the reins, or is it still effort by committee?
It's still effort by committee. We kind of don't really have a shot caller. We just all communicate. We all know what to do. And in S&D, that's kind of when me or Slasher will take over like what we do most of the time. But that's about it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Chris, just again looking at that pool: FaZe Red, Fabi DE, Fabi All Stars, Automatic Reload. Assume you guys go through. Which is the other team you'd expect to see go through with you?
Well, I mean, if you want an NA trend, you'd see AR. I mean, they're not that bad of a team. I think they didn't have a good showing at regionals. I saw one of their games and one of their players choked really bad, but other than that, I mean, their team wasn't playing too bad. I mean, Burns has been playing a lot better in this game than he did in Ghost, and I honestly think they'll probably come through as well.
I agree. Burns definitely playing a lot better than we've seen him play in the past. I think this could be a good year for him potentially. But that pool again, I think looking at the other ones, that stands out to me a little bit as we don't really 100% know who that second team. You really think that
Puckett likes the Germans.
You think
Puckett likes the Germans.
You think the Germans are going to be?
This is Kiwi's year. I was talking to
right,
Momo,
let me tell you what's
talking to Rel. All these guys are saying that Kiwi is probably top 10 in Europe without a doubt. Best player in Germany, even though he's from Austria.
He's from Austria, so that's
yeah, best player in that region. So definitely a guy to look out for. And if you remember, the last 2 years in a row, the team Kiwi's been a part of has taken a top 4 American squad to Game 5. He did it first against VVV, then he did it again last year against FaZe Red. So I think a lot of people just, because they look at the final 16 results, those top 16, they forget about how close those pools would have been if Killerfish and Kiwi were able to take those big ones.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. That's going to be a 3-way tie. I can see Fabi All Stars. I can see Fabi All Stars actually beating Fabi DE, and it kind of being add AR into that mix. It's going to be a 3-way tie.
Gotta love the good old-fashioned champs 3-way tie. There's got to be a 3-way tie.
You have to have at least one 3-way tie, so why don't be this one?
All right, let's bring it back to Chris if he's still on. Chris, I want to hear about FaZe Red. I have a FaZe Red Optic Gaming matchup in the grand finals of COD Champs. I'm spoiling it before the bracket show. But go ahead and tell me, who do you think are the teams that are competing for that $400,000 check and the title of world champion?
Let me go and pull up the teams. Sometimes I kind of forget. Well, in my opinion, you can't rule out Optic Nation, considering they have players that have been experienced and been in this position before. Also, their team is looking a lot better than it used to be. And then you have Denial, who's got Clayster attached, young talent, and not Prophecy. Sorry, but I think Denial is a really good team as well, and I think they'll probably place within the top 4 unless they really get upset. See, the thing that a lot of people don't know is, or don't really take into account, is if you looked at regionals and you looked at, what was it, season 1, you saw that they almost lost really early in the tournament. They really clutched up. I don't know if it was at season 1, I saw Cap clutch like 2 1v2s, which realistically, if the other team didn't like choke, or they were probably like 1v3s or something. They were crazy. It
was a game 5 against the Where. It was like Cap had like a 1v2 and then Replays had a 2v1 when he turned on Happy that one time on Riot.
Yeah, so like realistically, think about it. If teams don't choke, Denial could have been in completely opposite positions. So, I mean, if it was any event they'd choke, it'd be this one because they've gotten really close. But, I mean, if they keep their composure and play like they usually play, they should still place top 4, I mean, hopefully.
You can argue that.
And then, obviously, Optic Gaming, that's like a given at this point. You can't really say they'll probably be in the final versus whoever else toughs out the bracket, to be honest.
So do you say just 4 teams there? Optic Nation, Denial, FaZe Red, and Optic
Nation,
Gaming?
Denial, and Gaming.
Okay.
Those are the teams that are looking the best at the moment. I mean, I would say Envy, but I just don't know. Their team seems very inconsistent. They're full of talent and experience, at least within like, without Zuma. I mean, this is going to be his first championship or COD championship. I just don't know. They're a question mark in my head. I hope they do well because I'm friends with them, but I mean, I just don't know what to expect from their team because one day they're firing on all cylinders and the other day they just don't know what they're doing or play as a team whatsoever. Makes no sense.
I think that's the scariest thing for a team. A little bit of, I mean, I don't want to remind you much of last year, but Curse Las Vegas. I mean, you could have told me you guys would have won U.S. regionals, and I wouldn't have been shocked last year. And you could have told me, no, what happened, and I wouldn't have been shocked. I think inconsistency, the scariest thing when it comes to a team. But Parasite, thank you for joining us today. Talking a little bit about your group number C, like Benson said.
Number
Group
C, my friend.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fine.
number C.
Whatever. Numbers, letters, same thing.
And now when we come back from this quick commercial break, we're going to talk about Group D.